If you're suffering and constantly ruminating, this is a video for you. There's always a story going on in our head. Voices that tell us we're not worthy, we're not deserving, we're not lovable, we're not capable of success. And this all starts at an early age. And then when we grow up, we believe that these stories are who we are and that these stories are true. And I'm here to tell you, this couldn't be more further than the truth. It's like watching a movie, right? You get invested in the movie, you're listening to the characters, you're feeling the feelings and their stories, but you also know that they are not real. The same as the stories in your head are not real and do not define you. It's like a critic that is sitting on your shoulder, constantly judging you. So then you put pressure on yourself to be perfect, to get the validation and acceptance from the same people that put it there in the first place when you were a small child. Whether it be your family, your school environment, your friends, the games that you play, the shows that you watch on TV, social media, and so on. When you try to avoid these painful feelings, and this is why you're suffering, instead of facing them head on and going through it and not around it and healing it, the opposite happens because your mind has been used to this way of thinking for years. So when you avoid it, you're actually attracting it, if that makes sense. Doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, how much money you have, what kind of house you live in, what kind of car you drive. Just know this. Understand that our thoughts and perceptions play a significant role in causing suffering. And understanding this connection is vital for promoting mental well-being. So here's just a brief explanation to eliminate suffering in 8 minutes. Number 1, cognitive distortions. Our thoughts often become distorted, leading to suffering. Cognitive distortions are exaggerated or irrational thoughts that can magnify our experiences of pain and distress. Examples of cognitive distortions include all or nothing thinking, overgeneralization, or mental filtering. For instance, someone might engage in an all or nothing thinking by believing that they must be perfect in everything they do, leading to feelings of failure and inadequacy when they fall short. By recognizing and challenging these distortions, we can alleviate much of the suffering that they cause. Number 2, attachment to thoughts. We often become attached to our thoughts and beliefs, even when they are unhelpful and negative. This attachment can lead to suffering when our thoughts are unrealistic, self-critical, or fear-inducing. For example, if someone constantly worries about the future due to their attachment to anxious thoughts, they will experience ongoing suffering. Learning to detach our thoughts and observe them without judgment can help reduce suffering significantly. Number 3, rumination. When we fixate on a negative thought and continuously replay distressing events or scenarios in our minds, it can lead to prolonged suffering. Rumination keeps us trapped in a cycle of negative emotions and prevents us from moving forward. By recognizing when we are ruminating and learning to redirect our thoughts, we can reduce unnecessary suffering. That's what's called self-awareness. Number 4, perceptions and interpretations. Our perceptions and interpretations of events greatly influence emotional responses. For example, 2 people may encounter the same setback, but their interpretations of the event can lead to vastly different emotional experiences. By recognizing that our perceptions are subjective and open to interpretation, we can reduce the suffering caused by negative events. Lastly, self-identity. Suffering can also stem from our attachment to a particular self-identity based on our thoughts. When we strongly identify with our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, we can experience significant distress, which those thoughts are challenged or when they lead to negative emotions. Recognizing that our thoughts about ourselves are not fixed and learning to cultivate a more flexible identity can reduce suffering. So, in closing, our thoughts and perceptions significantly influence our emotional experiences, and much of our suffering arises from the way we think about and interpret the world around us. By becoming aware of the impact of our thoughts, recognizing cognitive distortions, practicing mindfulness, and learning to detach from unhelpful thoughts, we can alleviate much of this unnecessary suffering we experience in our lives, right? I've been on this journey for a long time, and I can tell you that I've done all of these practices here. It has completely changed my life to where I am manifesting positive people in my life. I'm manifesting and feeling confident and in a new role that I have at work. I am no longer attached to the negative thoughts that have kept me stuck for years and years, because I believed that those thoughts were true, that those thoughts were real, that that's who I really was, until I started doing the work. And I tell you, I'm proud of myself, because it's not easy, especially when this goes on for years and years and years. And like I said earlier, rumination and just going over these scenarios that are negative, that are unhelpful, are destroying your life. So take note of this whiteboard behind me and these 5 eliminating suffering in under 8 minutes, and continue to do this. I promise you, you will see a huge difference. And the key word is mindfulness, self-awareness. When you start to think, when you start to have a negative thought, catch it right away, because it's not true. If you don't catch it right away, you're going to keep feeding into the negativity. You're going to continue believing that this is who you truly are, and you're not. So I'm here to tell you that you are beautiful, that you are amazing, that you are worthy. You are enough. You are enough. I love you. Until next time, guys, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Peace, love, and namaste.